we'll deal with it then. But qualities most important in a law enforcement officer. Well, this is kind of a big one, especially here in the recent dynamic. Law enforcement officers, not all of them are good. In fact, I don't want to say most, but I don't trust most cops. And most people that I know don't trust most cops. Even a lot of cops that I know don't trust most cops. That's why they became cops. I feel that the most important thing is to be you're a pillar of your community. I mean, that's what you should strive to be. You are there to protect and serve. And now apparently that is no longer part of the credo, which is a major step in the wrong direction, if you ask me. A police officer, a law enforcement officer, is there to protect and serve. The problem you run into is law enforcement legally cannot do anything until a crime has already been committed, which means that they pretty much have to sit there and watch. Sorry, there's a fire going on. Not for me. If it were me, I'd shut this video off and go tend to it. But a law enforcement officer has to basically just stand back and wait. They can watch if a crime's being committed. They can't do anything until that crime's been committed. Their hands are tied in that regard. Now, once the crime is committed, then yes. And this is where security is far superior to law enforcement, because security can actually step in to keep somebody from committing the crime in the first place. Now, there are some things you gotta go through and hoops you gotta jump through. We're not talking about harassment, but if somebody's just showing up minding their own business, but they are in fact trespassing, that's a crime, and a cop could arrest them. I think that would be a bit of a stretch to arrest them, but I'm sure they could. Whereas security, you just, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Would you mind taking off? If the place, like for instance, I work at the school, we have people show up there all the time, and they want to use the athletic facilities, or they're just there, and we just say, hey, during school hours you can't be here. If you want to come back after this time when students aren't present, by all means, but right now we can't have you here. And so far nobody has objected. Everybody that we've had to have that conversation with has taken off. So I think the being respectful, being somebody that they can go to for help, the most important quality, you need to learn how to de-escalate. You shouldn't turn every encounter into a screaming match that ends up with somebody in handcuffs. There's no call for that, and all that's going to do is make everybody hate you and hate everybody that dresses just like you. And then next thing you know, and that's how you got the current issues we've got with law enforcement, is you have those few bad apples that have basically tarnished the badge for everybody. And next thing you know, you got everybody, hating and screaming and fighting cops. And then now they're criminals because they did something illegal to somebody that probably didn't deserve it. And it's just, there's no call for it. So be respectful of your fellow man. It's not rocket science. And somebody yelling and screaming, I get it. It's quick. It's very easy to lose your temper. And then you're escalating the situation and it goes bad. So learn some de-escalation tips. Learn how to just let things go in one ear and out the other. It's time to be nice all the time until it's time not to be nice. And I feel that that's the way that many officers need to look at it, and that's how I intend to handle it.